One.
Hi, I'm Karen Whitaker.
And I'm Kay Packard.
We love practicing and talking about hand analysis, how life-changing, profound, and practical it can be. In these videos, we'll use a question and answer format, so please let us know if there's questions that you'd like for us to include. We hope this is of service to you and helps bring you peace, clarity, and curiosity on your journey. So the first question, what is hand analysis?
Mm-hmm.
So what is hand analysis? It's also known as hand reading. Do you want to take that one first, Kay?
Sure. Okay. So what I say to people when they ask what is hand analysis, because a lot of people haven't heard about hand analysis, is it's a non-predictive modern day approach to basically reading hands. And it's based on a lot of research. It's based on a lot of actual implementation. It's reliable based on the implementation from hundreds, if not thousands of readers and who practice using the same database. So we have a system, we have a database. And so hand analysis is basically demonstrating the use of that database by reading somebody's hands and their fingerprints. And that's what we're doing is looking at the hands and the fingerprints and basically giving somebody a reading and translating what's in their hands to what's going on in their lives and having a conversation about that.
Mm-hmm.
What
And
would you
how do you look at the hands?
So I look at the hands live in person, somebody sitting here in front of me, or I get handprints from people or photographs. And so they email them to me and or text them to me. And then the quality needs to be large enough or good enough so that I can zoom in to see the fingerprint patterns and the markings in the hands.
Mm.
And then I study that, take some time, look it over. And after, I've been doing this for 20 years now. And every time it's just brand new and fresh and so much fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. There's just so many different paths of self-discovery out there. Hand analysis just really resonates for me. People turn to astrology and the stars, human design, Enneagram. There's just so many different means there. For me, when I look at the hands, it's just every bit as fascinating as when I first found out about this. I'm really intuitive and I experience the essence of it all, the source within each of us that's just expressing through the hands. And it's just so accurate. There's such deep meaning and it's such a profound way to expand into your greatest, most joyful expression in this human form. That just really does it for me. It's like, how cool is it that you can have all this intuitive guidance imprinted right on your hands?
I know. Why would we have all these markings in the hands if they're meant to be read? Just like, the stripes on a zebra or the clouds in the sky. I mean, we're not really reading the clouds, but in a sense, the sailors are. People on the oceans are reading the sky. People who are looking for tornadoes, they're looking at the clouds in the sky and determining how close is the tornado. What do I need to do as a result of what I'm reading? So nature has imprints all around us, and that's what is going on in our hands.
And the fingerprints are pre-birth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole huge draw for me. It's just so fascinating to me how the soul, I believe, imprinted in our hands this information. And that actually gives you information about your purpose, your greatest, the consciousness that you could embody that gives you the greatest joy in life, your soul's path, and your greatest sticking point, your challenge, that when you work on that, you can really step into your life purpose, your greatest joy.
Yes.
So for me, that's just so fascinating. So was there anything else you wanted to share about?
I think we'll go on to question number 2 and we're going to hit anything else that pertinent.
So, whoops, here we go. How is hand analysis different from palmistry? Do you want to take that one first?
Good one. Sure. So what I like to say is, hand analysis is non-predictive, and we're basically looking at the hand in now time. So the hand shows the major lines, the heart line, the head line, and the lifeline, and a variety of other minor markings in the hands and the fingerprints. And so we're not looking into the future. Future is really not known. And so having a conversation about what's going on now, because there's so many options in terms of for hand analysis, the upside possibility and a downside possibility, the yin and the yang, the good hair day and the bad hair day mode, I like to say. And so in hand analysis, the now time is where is a person within the yin and the yang, within the upside and the downside possibility, based on the marking that we're talking about, or ideally 3 markings that we put together. Then blend those markings, blend the potentials of each marking, and we put them together to tell a more full story about somebody. But again, it's not predictive, and it's not to say people who do predictions aren't worth investigating. That would be interesting. I like to take a chance and look at the possibility of somebody's predictions. But I do look at what's going on right now. So traditional palmistry is sometimes associated with
Superstition.
superstition. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, a lot of palmists have given palm reading a bad name because they did do a lot of predictions, and there are still some predictions that are just inaccurate and not helpful to a person. Hand analysis helps empower somebody by looking at where they are right now in their life circumstance. Predictions can be disempowering to people because they can really latch onto something an authority or a palm reader says that can steer somebody in a direction that's not for their highest good. What do you think about the difference?
Yeah. I mean, the thing I really like is that, I mean, I've worked as an intuitive life coach, but I never wanted to even then do predictions. I might say to someone, well, this is one possible path, that's another possible path. And this, it feels so much better to me to empower people to make their intentions. And then that's based on them really knowing themselves, which is what the hand analysis does. And when they really have clear intentions and they really know themselves, and they know how well things can manifest when they're in alignment with who they really are. I mean, that's just like the best of all worlds. We want to empower people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, let's see here. Here's another question. How did you come to practice hand analysis? Do you want me to go first on that?
Yes, I would love that.
Okay. So in 2015, I chose to have an elective surgery. And the timing of that surgery, my surgeon felt saved my life. So it was like this major wake-up call for me. It had me really questioning things more deeply for myself. Am I doing what I really want to be doing? Do I want to be different in certain ways? I was seeing clients, like I said, as an intuitive life coach, and I wondered how I might serve them more deeply. And I also was just noticing patterns within myself that weren't working, that I wanted to change. I really wanted to change. So hand analysis appealed to me to help other people and also to help myself. So at one point then I was guided to Google the word life purpose, and what came up was hand analysis. And I was really intrigued, and I felt almost like, okay, I was guided to do it. So I got a hand analysis reading done, and it was just so powerful, so incredibly meaningful for me. And I just knew I wanted to learn more about it. I wanted to be able to share it with people, help people with this. So I studied on my own for a while. I was able to find some books and some information out there. And then I enrolled in level 1 and 2 at the American Academy of Hand Analysis, and then went on to the certification program with Kay. And it's just been a dream that I didn't even realize I had come true. So I appreciate it so much.
So you really had a
So on
pivot. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, go ahead.
So you had really sort of a life-threatening situation, or, a wake up.
Yeah, yeah,
And then that really pushed you into, what's going on here.
yeah,
And I want to
yeah,
understand like purpose.
yes, yeah. And I've had a lot of different people come to me for hand analysis in that situation where
Mhm.
they just really want to change. They feel stuck. Um, they know that they're not being who they really want to be
Mhm.
and who they know they can be. So, so how about you, Kay?
Yeah.
What brought you to practicing hand analysis?
Well, gosh, the story is so long, but so my mom was an astrologer and she was really into metaphysics growing up as a child. And she actually gave me my first book. I have it here, Cairo, You and Your and Cairo. So she gave me this when I was 18, but I never opened it until I started teaching hand analysis, and I was teaching a gift markings class, and he talks about stars in the hands. And so I was like, oh, I wonder what he says about stars, which a lot of stars are gift markings, which have challenges. But what happened for me is I was in Manhattan Beach, a beautiful place in California, and everything was great. I was living in this beautiful home, and I was with a wonderful man, and I had the beautiful yellow Labrador, and something inside just wasn't what it should have been. It just wasn't clicking. Something was off. And I had a great job. I was making a lot of money in corporate America, and something was just off, and I didn't know what it was. I had studied astrology and I knew a lot about astrology, but I wanted to know why I was here. Why am I here? And I was watching the surfers in the ocean, and I was just like, why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? And so then one of my friends told me, oh, I just had this reading and it's about hand analysis, life purpose. And I'm like, what? I'd never heard of it. And I knew a lot about metaphysics. So I had my hands read, and I was like blown away by what she told me, that there was no way she could have known. And then I'm like, immediately I said, I have to learn how to do this, but I didn't start for that was in 2001. So then in 2003, I started my intensive hand analysis level 1 and level 2 with that hand reader. And then I went on to study the certification program, the advanced hand reading program with Richard Unger and his wife, Alana. And here I am 20 something years later.
So you were at a point where you were questioning.
Exactly. So the life purpose. And when she told me my life purpose, I'm like, and it's the pioneer. I'm like, the pioneer. I mean, how is that a purpose? And I didn't really resonate with it. But the more later I thought about it, I was the first to do a lot of things. And I go against the grain in a lot of things. And that was where I was at in life, is I'm following the path of what society kind of guides us to do, and just did not feel like a pioneer. But I didn't put it all together when I had the reading. It was over a little bit of time. And then the life lesson is what really got me, is my life lesson. And I was like, whoa. And that's our greatest opportunity to help us grow into our purpose.
Yeah.
So anyway, I could go on quite a while on that one, but how did I come into practice of hand analysis? That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So we got 3 questions. Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead, Karen.
Yeah, no. Did you want to go to another question or?
I think that's good for today. I'm curious what people think, and for people who listen to this, wherever you're seeing it, which could be on YouTube or Facebook or whatever the modality is. If you have any questions, that's what this is about. This is hand reading questions and answers with Karen and Kay. And we would love to answer your questions. We have a ton of questions that we plan to answer over time. So we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, your hands are a map from your soul. They're a way to line up with what your soul is wanting you to do in your life, wanting you to be in your life. So thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to your questions.
All right, right on. Thank you, Karen.
Bye.